I ain't sold no bags in a minute. I can't speak for none of the bros.
Alright, what's up with y'all boys? This is my first only free tutorial that I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna try and break it up into 3 sections. It's gonna be audio, video, and then any kind of SFX that I do. So first, you just want to open up your DaVinci, and you want to go into the bottom right hand corner and click 60, and it's just going to auto reroute 60. I'm making this video for everybody that doesn't have the studio version. With studio version you can do 120, but I'm just going to use 60, okay, because it just is what it is. So press save, and you want to open this up, and all you want to do is you want to pick your song. So I have 2 songs here, but I'm going to use this one, and we're going to put this intro in. And I've seen a lot of people use this cut to drag things in, and it's so brain dead. Don't use that. Click edit. Make sure it's really personal preference, but zoom in a tiny bit and then drag the song in. So song we're using. So for the point of the video, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit just because I don't want my voice to be drowned out. But when it comes to the audio, this can be a little confusing. So you just want to come and find where he starts rapping, I guess. So he really starts here. So what you want to do, make a cut and go back, I'd say, it's kind of personal preference, like I said. So you just pull it back a little bit, and then you bring it down, and then you want to bring it left, bring it right, and fade this one in, and fade this one in. And you see this little ball, you just pull it in. And so you kind of got to visualize it. So the shaded parts are the parts that you're going to hear the least, and the parts that are, still regular colored, you're going to hear the most. So you see how you've shaded this in? You come up and you match it. So then this is shaded, and so it makes a good transition between these two. So it kind of sounds like this a little bit. Drag this in and pull it over to the left. And that is part 1 for audio. Alright, we are back with part 2. Or, not part 2, segment 2. This segment is kind of just, alright, we are back. We just finished the audio part where I showed you guys. It's very simple. You just connect these two, and it makes it sound like. So now I'm going to show you that. So to make these transitions a little easier and quicker, you just hover over the edge, and when you get this little symbol, you just right click, and it brings up this little menu. And I like to do 120 because it's the smoothest. And all you gotta really do is, now you just pull your intro in, and sometimes there's like this second audio file that cuts your music off. So all you gotta do is pull it up just a tiny bit so that it comes to audio track 2. You can see it's on 2. Right click and unlink, and so then when you scroll down, you can delete the audio without losing track of the video. And so you always want to make sure everything is on optical flow and sharper. So you use the same drop down. Here, I'm going to trim this a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Pull this. Alright. So you just pull this, put the intro in. And it's really that simple. On to the third piece. Like I said, this is going to be the easiest tutorial you've ever watched in your entire life. So you get your clips here. I just have mine in the drive. These are RZ clips. This is what I'm going to be editing with. So you just pull them in. What you want to do next is you already have the intro in, so you just drag this up to audio 2 so it's out of the way. And then you pick your first clip. So you have found my first clip. Just delete the audio and change the settings on it. So you just click the clip, optical flow sharper, or optical flow smoother, whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. Use this drop down. So you've got it kind of lined up, but not really. And for this sake, I'm going to be showing how to do a little bit of my velocity, but not anything crazy. I'm just going to show very basic. What I like to do for my velocity is I don't like to do a lot. So stutter here. Add a speed point, and you see him through the stutter, and then he comes here and his face is kind of pointing at the speed point. Place another one down, and you pull it out until per se maybe like 45, and then you just trim it with the bottom piece. The top column controls the speed on how much it is. The bottom controls how long it is. So trim this down, and then like I said, this controls the speed. So you take this top one and you drag it to the left. I say the most you ever want to drag it is 150. Anything beyond that starts to look ugly. So you bring it in. So kill. So you've got your slowed piece, and you always want to make sure that the final kill is beat before the first kill, or that's the way I do it at least. And what I like to do is I just, for the final kill for these fast dodges, is I don't slow the final kill. I just line it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. So once you've got this one lined up, you can, if you want, you can make a slow for the second kill, but I mean, you don't have to. I'll do it for this one, because why not? And you just keep it lined up. And so here's the video so far. And I'll show you with it slowed at the end as well, just so you can see the difference. Some people might like that, but I like to keep the momentum going between them. And like I said, you can just right click at the end. In this instance, you don't get the little crosshair, but just do 14 there.
That's really fucking is like what?
You can jump right into your next clip. And in this case, I didn't do much thought as to which one I was using. Just picked a random one. And all you gotta do is drag it on top, and it'll kind of snap into place. For any reason that you don't like the snapping, you don't like how it kind of like grabs onto the one below it, you just click this icon right here, and it won't do that anymore. But I like it. It helps me center everything. So I don't turn it off much. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. And so this clip, there really isn't a big beat here, so you're not going to really want to do much slowing. You will, but I'll show you. So this clip kind of has an awkward start. So what you want to do is you want to trim it to where he isn't really standing around, so you can see. So he's running here. I'm going to use my arrow keys to slow it down. He's running. Lens, but not too much, but it's fast enough for you to feel like. So for this one, you're really only going to do slow on the last kill. So you can just find where you're shooting him, place a speed point, and instead of going to just find where he stops shooting, I'll go way ahead to where he starts rolling, add another speed point, drag it out until 45, and then trim it to where he stops shooting. So you get a wider range of slow, so it makes it cleaner. So what all you're going to want to do is you're going to pull it in just a tiny bit, because you want to keep the momentum going. So now it's on him saying at the end. And I suppose you could slow here slightly. I think if anything, I'd put like 60%, like maybe 55 there, because you really don't need much. Same thing, he runs away a little bit. Trim it down just a teeny bit. As you can see. In this case, I think he runs away a little slow for me. So at the end, I think you can, when you have this little double arrow icon, you hold it down with your left click. And delete this for now. And you can drag it in or out depending on how much you want. So normally it's about here. I just want to drag it in just a little bit just to get some speed on it, and then re-add the ending. So it's not a huge difference, but for the people who are looking for it, they will notice. And for this piece, I'm really only doing 3 clips. So I'm just going to find my third clip. I want it to be a really good one. And we can just use this one just for the sake of this video, because I don't want to make it too long. Oops. Like I said, unlink the clips. See how I selected the audio on its own. Delete the audio, scroll up so you can see it, and then snap together. Add the 14, add the optical flow, sharper. There you go. So it all kind of seamlessly connects. They matching my charm. I put the Drake in the bed body, ride with the switch. I don't know yours. Okay. So now, just like this clip has an awkward start, so you kind of want to trim it until he kind of bows out to the left. And so that's kind of what they matching my charm. I put the Drake in the bed body, ride with the switch. And so what I like to do is they matching my charm. I put the always slow the first kill. So I like to take the first tracer. See the first bullet. Pull it out extra long. I'd say 50 here just to keep things fresh. Pull it just a teeny bit to speed up the front segment. Trim it just a tiny bit. You see how it kind of bows out this way? I like that. So I kind of want to put a space there to exaggerate that part. Drag it out again. I'd say maybe 40 to 45 there. And like I said, a lot of these numbers are kind of off the top of my head, what I'm feeling, the way the clip looks, this way the song is. I'm just kind of freehanding it. This isn't a very, you don't really have to calculate a lot. So
I put a drink in the bed, body ride with the switch.
and so it just so happens that the way I slowed it down, I have good experience. So I slowed it down and it landed on the kill. All right, I'm back. So we seen.
I put a drink in the bed, body ride with the switch.
And so it just so happens that the word switch is right here. So you can kind of read it. You can kind of read the audio and see it right here where he says it. So you just want to line it up with that. And then trim that down just a teeny bit. And then he runs this way. So on the last part, drag it out just a tiny bit to like 60%. And then barely slow it, or barely speed it up. Excuse me. Left click, 14. And this will be our end. I'll show you.
They matching my germs. I put a drink in the bed, body ride with the switch. I don't know what yours.
All you gotta do is for the end of the song, audio, cut, and you just drag it in.
The drink in the bed, body ride with the switch. I don't know what yours. You trying to play with it?
Easy. And then when you are in the speed, which is Control R, all you gotta do is press the X or Control R, and then you get access to these little nodes. And you just drag the node and line it up where you did that, and it'll. And there you go. All right. And for the last piece of the video is really where I'm gonna put y'all on game. A lot of the emotion and element that goes into an editor's editing is the way that they do any kind of special effects, audio editing. Anything like that makes it simple. That makes it, what did I say? Simple? Oh my god, I'm so tired. Okay. So I'm going to show y'all how to do this work. So you see how this piece is him just, all you got to do is cut, whoops, Alt R or Control R, cut, and you single this piece out. All you got to do is go here, change the opacity to 50. I use 50.38 all the time across everything. If there's a dimmed part in my video, it's 50.38. That's just me. I don't use any kind of vignette on these parts anymore. I used to, but I just kind of, the more I edit, I think it kind of looks corny, but it kind of just looks. And to match it with the audio, you really don't have to do that second piece right here. You just quiet the audio down, and it kind of fits.
They matching my germs. I put a drink in the bed, body ride with the switch. I don't know what yours. They matching my germs. I put a drink in the bed, body ride with the switch. I don't know what yours. You trying to play with it?
Alright, so that's the end of the video. This is my only free, only public tutorial If you guys want private tutorials, do one-on-one calls where I can actually show you what I'm doing. And it has way more in-depth velocity tutorials, SFX. I might even leak some of the SFX that I use and show you where I get all my stuff from, show you how to do AI, all of that. You can come to me on Discord at UALM is my Discord, or you can join the Discord at discord.gg/fighters. Make a ticket and at me in the ticket, and I will respond, and then we can talk pricing. Private tutorials are not free. Please do not DM me. Please do not open a ticket if you're not money ready. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to look at it if you're not money ready. Thank you for watching. I hope this was really easy. I hope this was short. And yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding this tutorial, the public and free one, you can DM me, and I will try to respond to as many of them as I can. Thank you.